welcome to another class in our Microsoft Word series. And last class, we talked about inserting pictures, tables, and graph into our document. And we learned how to edit those. And we also did a shortcut for our bulleted list and our numbered list. This week, we're going to focus on a few keyboard shortcuts that we can use to edit our text, to bold, italicize, underline, copy, paste, and also to save. We will also look at visually separating our paragraphs, which is called indent, and we will touch touch on how to use our format paint to do quick and easy editing to our document. So first we're going to look at our keyboard shortcut, and the first thing that we're going to use is Control B, which is bold. And before we edit our document, we want to make sure that our text is selected, and we can click and drag our mouse to select our text, or put our cursor at the beginning and click to select our text. So our text is now selected. We're going to click Control B to edit, to bold our text. The next thing that I want us to do is the italicize, and we're using our keyboard shortcuts. And to italicize, we're using Control I, and you can see our text has been formatted um, with italics. And next, we want to do Control U, which is underline, and we see the difference right there. Say we want to undo, we click Control Z and it undo the last action that we performed. We can click again and it undo the next step, and now we are back to our original formatting that we had at the beginning. Control Y, it redo our last action, which is bold. And we now want to copy our text, so we're going to do Control C to copy. Click anywhere in your document, click Control V, and it pastes the text that you copied just now. And if we click Control S, it saves your work. So if you that's another easy way to save any edits that you're doing to your document. You click Control S and you on your keyboard, and you save your document. So that's an easy way to save. And we so if we say we want to delete, Control X, and we remove the text that we paste on our page, but we want to get it back. So what we're going to do is we click Control V and our text return to the document. Control V is paste. So those are easy shortcuts that we can use to edit our document using our keyboard. So the next thing we want to talk about, say you want to visually separate your paragraphs, we can do that using our keyboard, or we can use that do that using our margin tabs, or an indent. So if my cursor is at the beginning of my first line and I want to separate my first line from the rest of the paragraph, I click my tab key and on the keyboard, and you can now see that my first line is ½ inch away from the margin. So So we want to go back and say you want to do the the other line and you don't want to do the first line. What we're going to do, we're going to select, and then we're going to move or indent to the location. So we want 1/2 inch. And by doing that, our the lines in the second part of the paragraph actually indents without the first line. So that's how we would do the we move the second line. So let's undo. Say you don't want to do all the lines in the paragraph, but you may want to do only the second line to visually separate the second line. We do Control Tab and it indents the line that you chose to indent at that time. So that's an easy way to indent your document using your margin tabs or your indent marker. So once you put your cursor here, it tells you that this is your first line indent. So you can actually move this tab right here and it moves your first line. So it's where your cursor is, so it actually moves it. And your hanging indent would move all the other lines in your document. So that's what the hanging indent does. So you can either use your first line indent to move your first line, or you use your tab key, or you use your left hanging indent to actually move. This is your move your line. And if you move everything at once, it moves the entire paragraph. So that's another way you can move your entire paragraph. Say you want to indent a second paragraph and you don't want to indent the first paragraph, then you can do it that way. But remember, when you're indenting, you have to make sure that your cursor is at the beginning of the line that you want to indent. So you have to ensure that happens. Um, and another thing that you can So once you place your insertion point in the paragraph that you want to indent, you can go ahead and indent. So that, but you have to make sure that you select that section that you want to indent, and then you move your indent marker to the location that you want to indent. You can also change your indent marker. Say you want your indent location, you want to customize your indent location, you go to layout and you can choose how far you want to move the paragraph. So this is your left indent marker, so you can choose where you want your left indent marker to be, and this is your right indent marker, and you can do the same. So you can decide how far. If you notice, when I'm clicking, my it's my paragraph is shifting, the changes, it's being reformatted. And if you do the same to the right, you actually see where your indent marker right here is actually, your right indent is actually shifting based on the changes that you're making, you're customizing it. So that's another way that you can actually choose um, how far you want your marker to go when you're indenting your document. So you can customize, or you can use the default setting that Microsoft Word has. It's to arrange and emphasize your text using bullet points or numbered lists. And the first thing that we want to do, we want to select the text that we want to um, you want to format as a list, and we're going to go to the drop down and if you put your cursor over each option, you can see a preview of what they will look like. And what you're going to do, so you're going to choose this option, and you can see that um, your your list has changed, and um, you have now added bullet points to your list, right? So we want to change our bullet option that we choose, and we want to do different symbols. We're going to click the drop down for the bullet list. We're going to click define new bullet, click symbol, and then we're going to choose from the symbol list the option that you want to use. So we're gonna go with choose that option, and then you click OK, and you can see where our formatted list has been updated. So we would go to drop down, define new bullet, symbol, and we choose the symbol that we want to use, and then we click OK, and our bulleted list is now updated. So we're using the same list to do a numbered list, and to create a numbered list, note that Microsoft Word offers several different numbering options. You can format your list with numbers, letters, or Roman numerals. So we're going to go to the numbering drop down, and we can choose from here. If you move your cursor over each option, you can see a preview of what it will look like on in your document. We can also go to define new number format, and from there you have number style, and you can also choose different styles that you can use in editing your document. And for now, we're going to go ahead and choose the Roman numeral. And if you note, the Roman numeral, they also did do the Roman numeral. They have different styles, because this one is plain, and there's this one they have, it's a little different. If we click OK, we can see where our list is updated with Roman numeral. And so you're not confined to the options that are visible on the page. Once you click the drop down and you go further, you can actually see different options that are available based on your preference at the time. So you um, explore the options that are available to you, and play around and see what it is that you want to use while editing your document. So I would encourage you to definitely play around with the options that you have there. Another thing that is available to you is a multi-level list. So it changes the way your document will look. So that's something that you can choose to play with as well, to see if it is an option that you want to um, you want to use when editing your document. So you can play around with the multi-level list as well. So on our list, we're going to do further editing. We have number 2, new member introduction, Susan Cole. but we want Susan to fall under the new member introduction. So we're going to press or enter tab, so we can put Susan under that, but we want to indent Susan. So what we're going to do, we're going to use our increase indent to move Susan in. And if you notice, Susan now become, because we this is us trying to create a multi-level list, Susan now become a part of a subset of number 2, which is new member introduction. And we can change this bullet point or we can keep it. I will just go ahead and change it. And if we click here, we choose a new option to put Susan there, and we can go back to edit this where we decrease the indent. We can use this to decrease the indent, and now we have a Susan um, more clearly lined up in the way that we want it to look. So that's another option that we can use to kind of edit our list, um, to make our list look more uniform. And so we go here and we can see that the note that the treasurer's report will be presented by Richard, and we just add that to our list. And we can also change that bullet point that we had there. We could have kept that, but we want to change it, so we just change it to look more uniform and look as the one that we did for Susan. So that's how you can play around or format your document using different bulleted lists and numbered lists. And as you go, the more you practice, the more you get used to the idea of formatting your document to make it look clean, and more presentable. So keep practicing, and to make your document look beautiful and presentable. We continue to talk about the multi-level list, and when we go here, we can even add additional information um, to our list, and we can use our tab key um, to get to create multi-level list as well. And then we could always use change or bullet, um, and then we do click decrease indent to align or 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 text with the margin. So decrease indent or decrease indent, increase indent, move it away from the margin, and decrease, return it to the margin. So that's us creating multi-level lists. And you can even go further. You can use your space bar or you use your tab key to move your text even further away from the margin. So that's another way that you can do that. So we also want to look at using our Format Painter tool, which is your paintbrush that's on your ribbon. And what that actually does is to quickly apply the same formatting to your text in your document. And it's so you can use it to format color, font style and size, text or graphics. And the Format Painter lets you copy all of the formatting from one object and apply it to another one. So it's more like the copy and pasting and formatting. And to do that, you would be using this tool. And what we're going to do is to select the text. So remember, when you're editing, you always select the text that you're working. So once I select the text, I would click my paintbrush, and then I click the text that I want to look the same as my document, and right there you have it where it is, your text is the same format as the one before. And if you note, when I clicked selected Susan Colin Treasurer's report, it takes the formatting of the first two agenda items that you had. So that's an easy tool to use to edit your document in a quick and easy way. And this can be done for graphics as well. So if you had an image in your document and you want to replicate the image, you would do, you have two images and you edit one and you want to replicate the formatting that you did in the previous one, you could use the paintbrush to do the same. To clear formatting, we want to go ahead, and so let's select, and then we could use to clear all formatting from there. So we can use the option right here to clear all formatting. Say remove all formatting from the selection, leaving only the normal unformatted text. So you can use that option to clear all formatting. And remember, you would basically select your text when you're doing any sort of editing. So always remember to select your text. Another thing that I want to talk to you about is how to recover your unsaved document. So you're working on a document and it closed unexpectedly and you are worried. Um, and you're panicking because you have lost your document, but there is an easy way to recover your document. So we're going to go to file, then we do open, we would go to recent document, and from there we are going to recover unsaved document. So once you click that, you'll see in your list any unsaved document that you had that was lost. And what you can do is then you go and you open the unsaved document, and once you open the document, you can save the document. But it is recommended that when you're typing, you always save your document. Thank you everyone for joining us for another in our Microsoft series, and we look forward to joining you again in next class. Do have a wonderful day and keep practicing,